welcome back to Gymnastics 101, and today we're going to be going over a... So David here is going to be our demoer, and you can get right into it. What we're going to go through as far as the takeaways, we want to make sure that we have tension, make sure just like in that last video, we have it through the abs, lats, and glutes, everything's staying tight. And then we want to make sure that positioning is correct too, so what it should look like. And then third thing, why it's important or how it translates, especially to a dip position. So we'll get right into it. So go ahead and get into that fully progressed version here. So what you're gonna notice is he's gonna have his abs really, really tight, lats engaged, and then glutes engaged as well. So something a little different that you might notice is his toes are gonna be pointed behind him. What this is gonna do is add a little pressure to his upper body and torso especially. And then from here, his shoulders are directly over his wrist. So go ahead and go down for him. And if you notice, so as he's going down, that elbow is gonna remain right over his wrist that whole time. Come back up. And then, so a default, or sometimes what people will do is flare those elbows out, and this is what we wanna avoid. So notice elbows are out, so what that's doing is turning off his lat a little bit, and then it's also, you can rest here. It's also creating a little bit of tension in his shoulder and elbow. So that's kind of a default number one. And then a second default is gonna be making sure that the hips don't lag behind. So go ahead and go through a full. So we want our hips and shoulders to rise together on this side. So if you were watching video one, that hollow hold position, keeping the abs, lats, and glutes really tight, then this should be no problem letting those hips and shoulders rise together. So if you can get 3 sets of 10 in that position while keeping that elbow over the wrist, then you probably have a pretty good grasp on it. If you cannot, what we're gonna do is show you a few regressions to it. So first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna turn those feet back to the kind of standard position, and then he's gonna widen his legs really, really far. So he has a nice base of support, and then from here, going into that same push-up position that we just went through. So elbow staying stacked over the wrist, coming back up. If that's too hard, then what we can do is bring those feet back in. So you're gonna lower down from your toes, and then, so lower down from your toes, and then come back up from the knees. Oh, so come up, sorry. And then everything comes down. Yeah, and then back up from the knees. So same thing, give me one. So elbow stays over the wrist that whole time. So, if that one is too hard, then we can go just from the knees that whole time. Elbow staying over the wrist, lats engaged, glutes tight, abs. So again, 3 sets of 10 before you're moving on to that next progression. So again, tension to the abs, lats, glutes, positioning, making sure that we have shoulder over the wrist, elbow stays stacked over the wrist, abs staying tight to make sure that those hips, shoulders all rise together, and then how it translates to a dip. So basically, if I'm in a dip position, I'm coming up from this style, and then as I'm going down, my elbows end up in that same exact position as a push-up. And that one we'll get into in the next video. So thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.